Hi, I'm Autumn, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a list of classic pieces of literature that I want to read in my lifetime. So I haven't read a lot of classic literature. Most of what I have read has been children's literature. The reason for that is partially the length, and also because classic children's literature, because it was written for children, is now much more accessible to a modern audience than its sort of adult counterparts. This is a list that will no doubt change and evolve as I actually read the books on the list and figure out what I like and don't like in classic literature. Right now it's based off of sort of the concept of the books or the influence that they've had on modern pop culture and whatnot. I don't know what I will actually end up enjoying, and so ones that are similar to others, if I like one, I may be more likely to read more like that, as opposed to if I don't like it, the other ones on the list that are similar to it may become ones that I no longer are interested in reading, or at least end up farther down on the list of ones that I want to read. There is definitely a pattern to what I think I will like, and as I said, that may change as I actually begin to explore these books. Most of them are novels. There is also a collection of poetry and a play on here. The first book on the list is The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. I read an abridged version of this when I was younger and really enjoyed it then, and now I want to read the full book. The next book on the list is The Scarlett Pimpernel by Baroness Orczy. I've seen the musical of this and now want to read the original book. The next story is The Adventures of Robin Hood. There are a ton of different versions of this, and I haven't decided which version I want to read. The next book is Morte D'arthur by Sir Thomas Malory. I have read other versions of the Arthurian legend, but Morte D'arthur is sort of the quintessential retelling of King Arthur, and I want to be able to say that I have read it. The next book on the list is Don Quixote by Miguel Cervantes. I don't know anything really about this book, but the little bit that I do know makes me interested to know more. And then the next two books are books that are extremely influential to very early books in the sci-fi and fantasy genre, and those are Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and Dracula by Bram Stoker. And then the next book on the list is another medieval story. It's actually, I believe, a collection of stories, and that is the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. The next book on the list is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. She is the third and least well-known of the Bronte sisters. I don't really have an interest in reading either Jane Eyre or Wuthering Heights, which are the two most famous novels of the Bronte sisters. But the little bit I know about Tenant of Wildfell, it sounds like one I might actually enjoy. And then the next two on the list are not novels. The first one is a collection of poetry, and then the other is a play. So the collection of poetry is Idylls of the King by Lord Alfred Tennyson. This is a collection of poems about the legend of King Arthur. I've read parts of some of these poems, and I would like to read all of them in their full context. Then the play is The Tempest by William Shakespeare. This is one that I enjoyed the summary of it and really want to read the full version now. The next book on the list, I've read other books by this author, and this is another one of her most famous ones. So that is The Little Lord Fauntleroy by Frances Hudson Burnett. I read The Secret Garden. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I've read it dozens of times. And then I attempted to read A Little Princess a couple of times, but never made it all the way through. I don't know if I will enjoy this one or not, but I wanted to try more of her work. And then the last three books on the list are all by the same author. The three most famous novels by Jane Austen: Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma. I've seen movie adaptations for all of these and now want to read the original books. So those are a list of classic pieces of literature that I want to read in my lifetime. Let me know in the comments below which ones of these you've read, if any, and what your thoughts are on them, and what classic pieces of literature you want to read in your lifetime.